These are answers for page C29 in your pink book today, Monday, January 23rd, this year, 2017. And you look at fractions of fractions. For each problem, use the fraction bar to show your solution. Then write an equation. 1/2 of each bar is shaded. So we know it's of 1/2 in our equation because we're taking half of this. If 1/3 of the shaded bar is striped, how much of the bar is striped? So if 1/3 of the 1/2 is shaded, 1/3 of the 1/2 is striped, we have to figure the half, cut it into thirds, like that. I'll do the same thing with the other side too. And 1/3 of the shaded part is striped, and I'll stripe diagonally just because. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. My equation should start off as 1/3 of, or times 1/2 equals. If I go across, 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 2 is 6. Should be 1/6. I've got one part striped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the whole bar. So 1/6. How much of the bar is striped? Just 1 out of the 6. Okay, number 2. 1/4 of the shaded bar is striped. So we have to cut this into quarters. Like that. And the way I do it is cut it in half. Cut the halves each in half. So I have 8 pieces. So I have a feeling that that's my denominator in my answer. Now 1/4 of the shaded part is striped. So 1/4. So now we've got 1/4 of 1/2 of the bar equals 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 2 is 8. We've got 1 out of the 8 shaded. That's correct. Okay, next. If 1/5 of the shaded part is striped, how much of the bar is striped? Well, let's see if we can come up with the equation first. It'd be 1/5 of 1/2 of the bar. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 2 is 10. So it should be 1/10. Now, I have to cut this into fifths. I look at where half is, and I go a little bit to the left, and a little bit to the right. I cut each of what's left in half. It's so-so. I did pretty good with that one. I'll try it again. The halfway is about there, a little to the left, a little to the right, and half for each of those. Yeah, that one's not as good, but I have 10 parts. Now out of the shaded part, 1/5 of the shaded part is striped. So I have one part striped out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 1/10. That's right. Okay, one more. If 1/6 of the shaded part is striped, how much of the bar is striped? So 1/6 of the shaded part. Well, to get 1/6, I cut it in half, and then I need thirds and thirds. Thirds. I do the same thing over here. Cut that in half, and then I need thirds and thirds. And 1/6 is shaded. Our equation is 1/6 times 1/2 equals 1 times 1 is 1. 6 times 2, I should have 1/12. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 parts. One of them is striped, 1/12. That's what I got. Okay, next on to page C30.